It's a warm welcome to Sporting TV. I'm your host, Molo Collins, and of course, this is Sporting TV, your #1 leading sports channel. And of course, we are in the quarterfinals of this year's Elite Champions League second leg, and Arsenal will be traveling all the way to Spain, to Santiago Bernabeu, to meet 15-time champions Real Madrid. Remember that in the first leg, Arsenal managed to defeat Real Madrid by 3 unanswered goals, and it was the heroics of two phenomenal free kicks from Declan Rice, which managed to give Arsenal a 2-goal advantage before, of course, Merino sealing the deal for Arsenal by just kicking the ball inside the net to give Arsenal a 3-goal lead first leg advantage. And Real Madrid and Carlo Ancelotti has a mountain to climb to overturn the deficit, the 3-goal deficit that they need at the moment to knock Arsenal out of this elite competition. And they'll be needing 4 and above unanswered goals to make sure that they knock Arsenal out of this year's competition. A very huge task for, of course, Carlo Ancelotti, but Real Madrid are very upbeat that they can do it. Remember that they once did it against Dortmund, they once did it against PSG, and I think many are pitting Real Madrid to go ahead and overturn things around this time round at Real Madrid backyard. Well, Mikel Arteta may be sitting pretty at the moment because Arsenal have a 3-goal advantage, and Arsenal may decide maybe to sit in and try to soak the pressure, or maybe they can go out all attacking. Remember that in football we say that the best way to defend is to attack, and Arsenal may decide to go all out attacking Real Madrid. A very huge task for Carlo Ancelotti, trying to juggle and to manage between defense and attacking. Because if we say that Real Madrid just go out attacking, then they'll be leaving pockets of space which the likes of Bukayo Saka and Martinelli may try to capitalize on, because they have the pace, and maybe in that middle of the park we have Thomas Partey who can spray those balls to the likes of Merino to try and notch those goals for Arsenal. A very interesting match to see how things will unfold. And of course, Sporting TV, we are here and we have you covered, and we'll be taking a look at this match, how things are going to unfold, and at the moment keeping the tabs of the rest of the matches going on in the UEFA Champions League. Well, Carlo Ancelotti coming into this match a wounded lion, and maybe we may try to see if Carlo Ancelotti is going to just sit back and maybe wait to see what Arsenal is going to offer. But time is not really on Carlo Ancelotti's side, because Real Madrid only have 90 minutes to try and overturn a 3-goal deficit at their backyard, that is Santiago Bernabeu. And I think Mikel Arteta is just going to go with the same side that did duty to Arsenal, of course, last week, and I think he's not going to ring a lot of changes, and he's going to put trust especially into his captain, and that is Captain Odegaard, to try and see Arsenal over the line. It is something that has never been done before, and just to take you back a bit, remember that Real Madrid has never defeated Arsenal in the UEFA Champions League, and many are banking on the history for Arsenal to knock the 15-time champion out of this competition. But the likes of Vinicius Jr., the likes of Kylian Mbappe, and of course Rodrigo and Bellingham at the middle of the park have not really turned out for Real Madrid. They've not been on song of late, and they are really struggling even in La Liga to try to keep the pace with the leading, currently leading La Liga with a gap of 4 points. Domestically, Arsenal has drawn the last 2 matches, and I think that their total concentration has been shifted to the UEFA Champions League. Remember that Arsenal has never won this competition, and it will be very interesting to see how things are going to unfold when they manage to face 15-time champion, that is Real Madrid. And at the moment, Real Madrid midfield has not been really performing, and it will be high time for the experience of Luka Modric to try and push Real Madrid to the limit and make sure that they seal this game, especially if they manage to get a goal in the first 15 minutes, then I think they'll be good to go. On the other hand, Arteta may just opt to sit back and defend 3 goals for entire 90 minutes, or maybe he may decide to attack and maybe try to get an away goal at, of course, Bernabeu, which will give them an added advantage because they'll be having an away goal scored at Santiago Bernabeu. And as we know, Real Madrid, this competition, they're the most successful team ever to play in this competition, having 15 titles, which is not a mean task, and it's very difficult even to defend this title, and they've done it over and over. And Arsenal will be trying to go one better under Mikel Arteta to try and win this elite competition. And if he managed to break the ice, I think that he'll be the very first manager in the history of Arsenal to lift this cup. Remember, before they were under Arsene Wenger, and Wenger managed to push Arsenal to the finals. That was in 2006, and they were defeated by 2-1 rather, by then champions Barcelona, and it was a very good performance, of course, from Arsenal back then. But now this is a very different ball game, different script, and the very experienced Carlo Ancelotti may try to overturn things around and maybe see if he can lift his 16th UEFA Champions League title. Well, let's go ahead and look at the defense, because Arsenal defense so far is being marshaled by the very able William Saliba, who has done a pretty job, and it was seen when he managed to lock out Kylian Mbappe completely out of the first leg, which was played at Emirates Stadium, and with the absence of course, Gabriel Magalhaes, he is being marshaled by Kiwior, who has really done well to cover for the very experienced that is Gabriel Magalhaes. And for Real Madrid side, they've been leaking goals and unable to keep clean sheets, and just Thibaut Courtois is making a return. Yeah, he did manage to make some crucial saves for Real Madrid in the first leg, but their defense is leaking. Alaba is making a comeback into that Real Madrid defense, and maybe they'll be hoping his experience combined with the likes of course, Rudiger may try to push Real Madrid ahead. Well, let's go and look at the midfield, and Thomas Partey really boasts that Arsenal midfield against the likes of Luka Modric and of course Bellingham, and this time round it won't be an exception, because he'll be aided by the likes of course the creativity of course of Odegaard and Declan Rice in that middle of the pack. And for Real Madrid, maybe Bellingham has to come to the party to try and spread those balls, of course, to the very pacey Vinicius Jr. and Kylian Mbappe. In fact, Vinicius Jr. has been under a lot of criticism because he has not been performing to the level expected of him, because we know the caliber, the potential that of course Vinicius Jr. has, and if maybe he may stand up to be counted in this tie, maybe he may carry Real Madrid like the way he did last season, and it's only a matter of time to see how things are going to unfold, and expect Arsenal to approach this match with a much rather defensive approach. Considering that they have a 3-goal advantage against Real Madrid, and Real Madrid on the other side, they don't have an option. They have to attack from the first whistle to the last to try and get those crucial goals. And if Real Madrid manage to score a goal in the first 15 minutes, then they will destabilize Arsenal mentally, and Arsenal will see the need now to try and push up and maybe open up the game a bit, and try to spread those passes to Bukayo Saka, who is just making a comeback. But as I said earlier in my last show, Bukayo Saka is not really fit, but I think this time round he may cause some really good problems for Real Madrid when they manage to meet in this match. Also, feel free to give me your views and thoughts. Which team is going to win this match, and will Real Madrid proceed or Arsenal will manage to cause an upset and knock the 15-time champions Real Madrid out of this competition? And a lot is going to unfold at the very famous Santiago Bernabeu, and Mikel Arteta will be on the lookout not to have anything that may hinder his chances of proceeding to the semi-finals of this year's elite competition. Remember that when the last time Arsenal was in the semi-finals was way back in 2006, when going all the way and meeting Barcelona in that finals, and Mikel Arteta meeting, of course, the Italian that is Carlo Ancelotti, a very interesting one to see. Well, those are my views and thoughts. Also, feel free to engage me on all social media platforms, and I'll be sure to sample some of your views and thoughts on our next show, and as I keep tabs also from the rest of the matches taking part in the UEFA Champions League. Well, I've been your able host, Molo Collins. Let's do this again next time when we do meet. Subscribe, view, like, and share. As for me and the rest of my crew, it's bye-bye for now.
Madrid.